Yo, what's up guys, welcome to my humble YouTube channel where I bring you fanfiction that will brighten your days. Before we start, a subscribe is greatly appreciated, and don't forget to leave a like and ring the bell icon so you won't miss exciting new fanfiction stories. The Shadow of a God by DirtyRippedPaper Chapter 13, The Sung Family's Reunion plus Riri. You're back, JinWoo. I was greeted by a friendly voice as I approached my mother's bed. You knew, didn't you? I laughed. Of course Rimuru knew I'd be back by now, and where I'd go. I know you better than yourself. She stretched her arms. She spotted something I was holding. Is that perhaps something that can treat your mother? She stared. I nodded. If I screw up here, I won't be able to reverse it. She might not swallow the holy water of life, and even if she does, there's no guarantee that she'll turn out fine. I swallowed my saliva. Rimuru placed her hand on my shoulder. She'll get better. Her smile lit up the room. The system has been known to grant me miracles. An E-ranker like me wouldn't have made it here if it weren't for the system. Then, it should be fine to trust it. My hands trembled as I poured the holy water of life into my mother's mouth. It has to work. I noticed a scar on the back of my mother's neck. A scar because of me. All I wanted to do was wash my mother's hair. I didn't mean to pour the scalding water on the back of her neck, but I did. Of course, it was my fault. I was the reason for that scar. Yet she still thought of me. She worried about me, when she was the one who had a scar. I stared at my mother's face. It, which was once pale, now had color. Mom, open your eyes. Why aren't you waking up? Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. You have to. The only reason I wanted to become stronger was to protect those I loved. So you have to wake up. Mom, don't leave me here, come back. You can't just leave me here. Please. Let me take over the burden you've been carrying, Mom. Thoughts ran amok in my mind. What if the holy water of life failed? What if the system failed? What if I failed? This can't be it. I've gone too far just for this. I've killed. I became stronger. This can't be the end. You can't be gone. You need to come back. JinWoo. Is that you? A voice of a woman sounded out. It wasn't Rimuru's. I looked up and saw my mother. How long have I been asleep? 4 years, I trembled. How's Jin-ah? She asked me. She's okay. I kept trembling. It must have been difficult. Because I got sick. You had to shoulder the burden. Someone your age shouldn't have had to carry the burden. She pressed her hand against mine. It was difficult, I voiced out and held her hand even tighter. It was so difficult, Mom. You have no idea, I cried. For the first time in half a year, tears started flooding my face. Mommy's here. Mommy's here, son. She hugged me as tears flowed out my eyes. As if I was 7 years old, coddled in his mommy's arms. Oh, how I've missed this feeling. I've missed you so much. I'm here now. I'm here now. She patted my back. I could feel Rimuru's gaze on us. I knew my mother felt it as well as she reached her hand out to Rimuru. It seems you've taken care of my son. She pulled Rimuru in our hug. You flatter me, Auntie. Rimuru returned the hug. Open hollow corner bracket. Close hollow corner bracket, Mom. Jin-ah cried out. You've grown so much, my daughter. My mom opened her arms to Jin-ah and let her come. I watched the scene unfold, and it felt like my life could finally be called complete. My efforts were not in vain. All of my troubles were leading up to reward me with this moment. But, it's as if I created a big distance between us because of me being a hunter. It's too late to back down from this life. Rimuru and I visited the park and sat down the bench. You're gonna buy me ice cream, right? Rimuru grinned. You glutton. But yay, I am, I chuckled. Oh, you should probably check your phone. Maybe there are some things you missed. I followed. I decided to check my phone for any messages. I left my phone unattended for too long while I was at the demon castle. Looks like there's a lot of missed calls. If it was something important, I'm sure they'll call back. I scrolled through the news and saw something familiar. Is this about Kaisel? Even a stupid event such as this was breaking news. Oh, right. My mom wants to go on a family outing, go on a picnic or something, I said. How long are you guys going to be out? She asked. She wanted to go with you. She says she really likes you, though I can't see why. Her cheeks puffed up and she replied, "Hey, I have a really lovable personality." Yay. It's impossible not to love you, but, is it okay for me to go on a family outing with you guys? I'm not even a part of the family. She looked somewhat sad as she said that. I replied, "What are you talking about? You're a part of our family now." Her cheeks got a slight pink hue from my words. Then, when is it? "JinWoo, you've grown into a fine young man," my mother said as she stared at me wearing an outfit she picked. I looked at myself in the mirror. Hey, I'm too handsome now, aren't I? Peeved. Any woman would fall for me, right? I know what you're thinking. Now, don't let it get to your head, Oppa, Jin-ah scolded me. Mom spoke, but you have to admit, your brother's gotten really handsome these past few years. Jin-ah eyed me from head to toe before responding, he's still an idiot. You should see how he talks about Ri. I covered her mouth. Mom just stared at us with curiosity. Tell me more. So, what does your brother talk about? I felt embarrassed. Mom. Don't ask that to Jin-ah. She's a big, ol liar. My sister glared at me. Liar? You're the liar for calling me a liar? She puffed her cheeks and crossed her arms. I could see Mom, visibly enjoying the sight. I missed my two children. I swallowed my saliva, and stopped the tears that wanted to fall down my eye. We missed you too, Mom, Jin-ah and I said in unison. For a moment, only silence was there, until Rimuru knocked on the door. I'll get it. I approached the door and opened it, revealing Rimuru. I stared in awe at the sight, absolutely speechless. She looked divine. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say she was made out of the goddess' own mold. The way her eyelashes flutter each time she blinks, how her hair rests on her shoulders, her pink and soft lips. All of those paired with a beautiful sundress. My God, she's gorgeous. Her face tilted up, her eyes staring at my own. JinWoo? Why? Yes? She averted my gaze, seemingly embarrassed. Oppa. Don't drill holes into her. Jin-ah sneaked past me, who was blocking the door, and went her way to Rimuru. She took Rimuru in for an embrace. You are my best work yet. This is exactly why I'm your stylist for free. Nothing beats seeing a gorgeous woman maximize her potential. You styled Rimuru? I asked. Duh. As you know, Rimuru's sense of fashion is kind of whack. I laughed as she said that. Rimuru pouted, it's not that bad. Oh God, she's so cute. My whole entire face became red at the sight of her. I felt my mother's touch on my shoulders, distracting me from Rimuru. Then, shall we go out now? Gosh. This is beautiful, Rimuru said as she stared at the garden. The garden was packed with beautiful flowers, and it was open for everyone. It is. She was busy admiring the flowers while I was busy admiring her. The most beautiful, I mumbled. Rimuru took a glance at me, her cheeks and the tip of her ears red. The air felt like I could say anything. Jin-ah took notice of us and looked away. Rimuru, you're beautiful. She wouldn't dare look at me. Instead she looked down the ground, her eyes widened. The tip of her ears stained with red, her eyes refusing to meet mine due to sheer embarrassment. She mumbled, thanks, with the softest voice she had. Riri, JinWoo, let's set up our place now. It wasn't Jin-ah who interrupted our moment, but my mother instead. Rimuru tilted her head at me and said, You what? Could you tell it to me later? Soon after she went to my mother. Jin-ah saw how dejected I was and approached me. Tisk, tisk. You should confess when it's private, ya know? I should, yay. We walked over to Rimuru and our mom. There we saw them holding a conversation so casually. Rimuru really knows how to become friends with everyone. Mom. I put down the basket that was filled with all of our food onto the floor. I sat down on the cloth and couldn't help but take a glance at Rimuru. I never thought I'd live to see the day Rimuru would wear a sundress. She looks extraordinary with it on. You've been staring at me since earlier. Gosh, I know I'm pretty, but you don't have to keep staring at me, she joked. Jin-ah nearly choked on the sandwich she'd been eating. I stuttered while trying to explain, Why you just look different, ya know. She raised her brow in confusion. Different? Do I look bad or something? She was starting to sulk. I told you, You look beautiful, I blurted out. She looked at me with her whole face red. Jin-ah and Mom just reveled at the sight of us. Well, Rimuru didn't look disgusted. She was just flustered. Can I take it that I have a chance with her? Delusional. Jin-ah read the look on my face. Oh, shut up. I glared at her. The rest of our day was spent chatting and eating our food. Rimuru had to get more food cause she was still hungry. With such a mundane day like this, I really wish it could last forever. A life without any problems would be the best. A life with Rimuru. Open hollow corner bracket. Close hollow corner bracket. Open corner bracket master. I have to inform you of JinWoo's father. Close corner bracket. Isn't he dead already? At least that's what JinWoo told me. Open corner bracket, he is alive. He has returned recently. Close corner bracket. How is that? Open corner bracket, I'll explain. So, there are the existences of rulers and monarchs. The rulers found JinWoo's father, almost dead in a dungeon. They took him in to groom him into completing a mission. Now that they've deemed him enough, he can now return to the world. He has come to complete his mission. Close corner bracket. And what mission is that? Open corner bracket, he has to kill the shadow monarch. Close corner bracket. Monarch. JinWoo. Open corner bracket, precisely. But he doesn't know that his son is the shadow monarch. Close corner bracket. Damn. That's kind of tragic. I guess I'll get him out of the ruler's control. It won't mess anything up that badly, right? Open corner bracket, not if you erase certain memories. If you erase memories from the rulers and from JinWoo's dad and implement new ones, it'll be as if everything is going as it should be. And besides, if things do go wrong, you have the power to reverse anything, master. Close corner bracket. Then, take him to me. A flash of light blinded my eyes momentarily, and when it died down, I saw a man standing in front of me. Who are you? Where am I? He asked. I stared at his face. He really does resemble JinWoo. Though I have to say, JinWoo took more after his mom. I asked him, do you want to go back to your family? His eyes widened at my words, his head drooped down. I can't. I asked you, do you want to go back to your family? It's a simple yes or no. His eyes were dull, but as if his soul was revived from the dead, he answered, yes. More than anything. I walked closer to him. He looked wary of me, but accepted my presence. My hand touched his forehead. You have always been Sung Il-won, a father to Sung Jin-woo and Sung Jin-ah, and a husband to Park Kyung-hae. You've never met the rulers, nor have you ever even heard of them. You disappeared for 10 years because you were stuck in a red gate. Got it? As soon as I said that, the man disappeared into thin air. He's now in the place where he should have been the whole time. As for everyone else, you can handle that, right? Open corner bracket, of course, master. Close corner bracket. Open hollow corner bracket. Close hollow corner bracket. A knock on our door sounded out in the middle of the night. I rushed to open it. Could it be? I stopped for a second before touching the doorknob. What if it isn't him? What if I got my hopes up for nothing? What then? But if there's even the slightest chance, then please. I closed my eyes and opened the door with hesitance. Dear, a voice called out to me. I slowly opened my eyes, staring at the man in front of me. It's him. Tears flowed down my face as I accepted reality. It really is him. It's been 10 years. Oh, how I missed you, my dear. He walked a step closer to me and took me in for an embrace. I couldn't stop my tears from pouring out as I grasped his back. I spotted the two men at the back who escorted him and quickly broke off from the embrace. Ma'am, it seems that your husband, Sung Il-won, who was presumed dead, was actually just stuck in a hidden red gate by himself. Even to us it sounds unbelievable, but it is the full truth. I covered my mouth in surprise. I had my doubts on my husband's whereabouts, but to think he suffered in a red gate all by himself. As if to soothe me, he placed his hand on my shoulder and caressed it. I'm just glad he's back home now.